Welcome to our lecture in purposive communication, and this is going to be the last topic for this semester. Um, this will be the job preparation seminar series, which will help you win an ACE job interview. So before doing so, you are going to go through the process first, which starts with writing application letter, then writing a resume, and then um, doing the job interview, at least preparing yourself for the job interview. And it's one of the most daunting tasks what a college graduate or college student must do, because without which you won't be able to find a job. So it's a process that you have to go through, and it's going to be exciting because this will provide you the food on your table for the last part of your life. And acing a job interview, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be doable. So the first step that we're going to look into is to write an application letter. Although many letters, although many companies may not require applicants to write application letters, but there are still old school that they wanted to find the personality of the person or the applicant himself with how he writes the application letter. In fact, one of the companies inside wants applicants to write it in handwritten. They want to find out the personality of the person by the handwritten application letter, but that's just an exception. Many of these people would require an application letter because that is the most formal way in expressing your intent to look for the job. The application letter is basically a cover letter, or a, a a letter that will sell yourself. Basically, it's your qualifications that you're going to sell. It's um your 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 interest in the particular job would really help you out. There are three reasons why we write an application letter. First, to catch the reader's attention. So how do you catch the reader's attention? Make sure that the letter itself is structured in a way that when a person reads it, it's easy on the eyes. So free of errors, clean and very neat, and then free of it has everything. It has all the elements in an application letter that a person wants to find out. Next, you point out your qualification. Your qualification. It means to say that the letter itself is not just an expression that you wanted to look for the job and wanted to you're expressing interest in the job, but you're also selling your qualifications for the particular job. Then don't forget that the main reason why a person or an applicant is writing an application letter is in order to request for the interview. This part should be vividly written down in the last part of your application letter. Otherwise, it's not going to be a very good one, because a letter should have a purpose, right? And the purpose of that letter is to request for the interview. That is the purpose of an application letter. No more, no less. An application letter is divided into three parts. The first one is the opening paragraph. So the opening paragraph states that you are applying for a specific job title or field. So it means to say you indicate there the title or the job position that you are applying for. Also, mention the source of information. When we talk about the source of information, it can be people, it can be newspaper, where you got the information from. It's very important for the company because they're going to evaluate how effective is its advertisement, or they want to find out whether the applicants got the job or learned about the job through different platforms or different channels like newspaper, media, um, referrals. People are basically the most important source of information. So in the opening paragraph itself, two things: state the title of the job that you're interested in, and then mention where you got the information from. Example: I wish to apply for the position as a project engineer based on the qualification you published on website trabaho.com. Next, source of info, trabaho.com, title, project engineer. Another example: in March 2022, I will be graduating from the Site Technical Institute Incorporated with a diploma in electronics engineering technology. I am writing to explore the possibility of employment as a control systems engineer at your Mindanao facility. Although it's quite long in two sentences to start a paragraph or to start the opening sentence or opening paragraph, it has the two elements which are the most important one. The first one is the job title, which is the control systems engineer, very good, and the source of information, which in this case was not found in the um, in the sample. So if there's no if you cannot indicate it, don't indicate it. But if you can indicate it, the better it would look like for the employer or your prospect employer. Your advertisement in November 22 issued the Manila Bulletin calls for a web designer who is proficient in communication skills, computer literate, with a pleasing personality. I sincerely believe that I meet your requirements for the position. Sorry for this, and it should be a web designer, which is the position, and the Manila Bulletin, which is the source of information. This one is a very good opening for a for a for a for an application letter. Um, Remember that when you're writing letters, it is much better if you use the you approach. It's like you're talking to the person in front of you. So what he did is he was thanking for the posting. Thank you for posting your need for accounting staff on jobsdb.com. I'm available to fill this opening and can begin work immediately after hiring. So it's like you're talking to the person in front of you, and then it is using the you approach because you're using you as the pronoun, and then also it has all the elements, accounting staff being the job title, and jobsdb.com, which is cited as the source of information. Very common. I read in the November 10th Cebu classified ad section of your need of office administrator. I believe that my education and employment background are appropriate for the position. These are examples of opening paragraphs. I don't lump them together. This is one of the examples that very common, especially if you read the hiring need through a newspaper. So you indicate the newspaper and the date it was published. Don't forget to indicate also the position. The first paragraph just indicates the position and where you got the information from. For example, in this sentence, in response to your advertisement for machinist position, which appeared in today's issue of Philippine Star, please consider this letter of application. Position, machinist, source of info, Philippine Star. Or, please accept this letter in response to your recent posting for machining position. I have completed my diploma in mechanical engineering technology in site. So this guy is already a graduate of site. Then he is looking for a position as a machinist. So those are the examples of how you're going to start your application letter: source of info and the job title as much as possible. So this is common as well. Would like to apply for the position of web designer of the system administration in your corporation. Very short, very simple, but that will start the first paragraph of your application letter. Now the second part is the body of the letter. This will detail your explanation on why you are qualified for the job. Basically, you describe your education or experience and any other activities that will help the prospect employer assess your relevance, because you have your talents, you have your leadership and supervisory positions or experience in the past. If you have positions like you had worked before in some companies that are related directly or indirectly to the position that you are applying for, you indicate that one. If you have the education, state always the latest educational background that you have. So for example, you are a graduate of high school, and it's you are the graduate of high school, so you indicate you are a graduate of senior high school. But if you're a college level student, you indicate that you are already in the college with the number of units that you're earning, and the work experience, and then of course your talents are not the fire eating challenge you're going to have, but the talents that are really needed for the qualification. So for example, if you're applying for call center agents, so talent in speaking can really work in handy there. If you're applying for a machinist, your talent in precise measuring, um, your background in AutoCAD or your background in material science can really help uh, land you the job. So basically, you want to qualify for a person's for a job position. So how do you qualify that? So this will look into yourself, you look into yourself and you assess what are the qualifications that you have, what are the experiences that you had. Remember the dates, because this will come out and in the interview that you're going to have in the future. So it takes a lot of journey back to yourself, to what you are, and to how you have come this far, so that you'll be able to um, explain yourselves, explain also and sell out your qualifications. Example of the second paragraph: I finished my diploma in mechanical technology at the Site Technical Institute Incorporated in 2020. Currently, I am enrolled in mechanical engineering, wherein I have earned 33 units at Cebu Institute of Technology University. At present, I'm working as a part-time operator at Philippine Makoto Metal. I'm proficient in using lathe machine, word processors, and computer-aided design. So, this applicant is a graduate of mechanical engineering technology, and then he's also taking up units in Cebu Institute of Technology, which is the latest. And he's also a part-time operator from Philippine Makoto Metal, which I think is applying as a machinist here. And his knowledge in lathe machine, in computer-aided design, will help him solidify that request for this job position. Another example of a body of letter: my 3 years working experience at Amon Company as web designer has given me an opportunity to develop websites for corporate functions. I am also responsible for opening and sorting office correspondence. In addition, I am familiar with MS Office skills, particularly Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. So if you are a web designer, an add-on could be your computer literacy skills. Another example: I recently obtained my diploma from Site Technical Institute Incorporated as a graduate in electromechanics technology, which we had before. I have acquainted myself with a range of skills that would allow me to blend with your firm. From your advertisement, I can see that you are looking for candidates who have excellent computer skills. I have already demonstrated those skills, as I was involved in computer work, such as in word processing, spreadsheets, presentation, and email application and databases during my computer course training. Now, normally we have to really edit our letters. So, if, for example, we we have exceeded a preposition here, so we better remove them, and we make sure that these are accurate. The information that we write are accurate. Otherwise, it can be a slap on credibility of the applicant. So in this case, the person applying for this job is a graduate of site, and he has a range of skills that allow him to blend with your firm. And I don't know what this range of skills is, but possibly, since he is looking for he's an electromechanics, he had an add-on of being able to work with computer, which is already a an additional, no? So with your additional skills in computer, of course, it sends a signal to the employer or prospect employer that you are not just good in this particular field, but you are also good in other fields, which in turn can also help you deliver the job. The third part of the letter, application letter, is the end matter. Basically, it's the closing. It will refer the reader to your resume. Everyone say resume. It's not a resume. It's a resume. It's a French word. Resume is basically qualifications of your a list of your qualifications in a sheet of paper, 2 sheets of paper, something like that. It's like a comprehensive curriculum vitae that details what you are capable of, your experiences, your educational background, and your qualification skills and activities that you were engaged in the past that help you score this interview, or help you get the job. Because normally a company will receive a lot of letters of application every day. Now you have to meet the expectations of the person reading your application letter by writing the most important things. So cut the frills, the things that are not related to your skills um, are found in your application letter. Remove them. Make sure that all the information It can be one pager. I'll show later on an example, but make sure that every word, every paragraph, every sentence counts, because people in the companies who are receiving application letters and so are very, very busy people, so they only wanted to know whether you are qualified for the job in a quick look, and then after that they will assess whether your resume will really bring something to the table, and then ultimately they will schedule you for the job interview. The last part basically um, talks about your referencing to resume. So make sure that you refer the reader that there is a resume enclosed, and then you express your desire to an interview, and don't forget always your contact number. Example: I've enclosed my resume, which includes my special skills, training and accomplishments, and awards as a student, and a photocopy of my official transcript of records for evaluation. Should you wish to ask about my personal traits and capabilities, I've also included a list of references for you. I'm very much willing to come over for a personal interview with you anytime during office hours. You may contact me at 3461611. So, what are the three elements? Again, you have to make sure that you have referred the person to your resume. See? List of references. Next, you are expressing yourself to come for an interview in this part. And contact number. So the rest are just icing in the cake, or icing on the cake. I have attached my resume for your review, and this should give you some idea of my educational qualifications and experience. This is another example. However, I look forward to an opportunity to meet with you and further discuss my qualifications. You have referred the person to your resume. You have expressed yourself for your willingness for the job interview. However, you failed to write, or he fails to write his contact number here. Anyways, it's in the resume, but better if you can write it in an application letter. Just another example. Okay, so again, an application letter basically is a cover letter that will sell your qualifications at a quick look. So it has opening, it has body, and it has a closing. So make sure that it follows what we call a diamond format. I'll give you an example of diamond format, but before that, if you can find this, if you can read these codes, you comment this one in your Facebook comment section, so that I would know whether you have understood or you have reached this part already of your lecture.